Hey, Hornacek, what's your biggest fear?
Man, this is going to sound crazy and completely unfounded, but I have this weird fear, and this is totally nuts, I know, that you and Geiger are actually going to ditch me and start your own podcast.
You should probably find a gravity bomb, like quick.
Damn it. Hey guys, welcome back into the Bro 4 Squad podcast. This is our review of Season 5, Episode 12 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. entitled The Real Deal. It's the 100th episode, and yes, I know we said that last week, but we don't know how to
Are we
count,
sure?
so I think so.
It 99th maybe?
I did my Phil Coulson and started scratching a tally into my wall for each episode, and I think this one is 100.
Ah, okay. Got it.
Thanks for checking us out. I'm Jeff Hornacek. The voice you just heard is the mad scientist Brian Banner, here to grade this episode as we do all of our TV episodes on our 4 Squad criteria: the acting, the story, the best scene, and any theories going forward. So Banner, 100 episodes in the books officially of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What'd you think of the acting in episode 12 of season 5?
The acting was incredible, and I think that's. I'm not surprised by it either because they only had the main cast in it with the addition of a little bit of General Hall and a couple of other ancillary characters. I want to point up one thing. They brought back Mike Peterson, which they do from
Yep.
time to time, but they didn't bring him back as I mean they did bring him back as Deathlock, but they brought him back as Mike Peterson, and I thought he did a fantastic job again for being really a secondary or even thirdary character. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Thirdary
a
is
thirdary
definitely
character. He shined. He held his own with the likes of Phil and Chloe Bennett and everything else. So I thought he did a fantastic job in this episode. What about you?
Yeah, I echo that too. I mean, bringing back J. August Richards as Mike Peterson, a great callback because obviously he's in the very first episode of this show, was great. And he had a very poignant and powerful scene with Coulson that was awesome to watch. But I got to say, I know we give Ian DeCasker a ton of credit on this show all the time because we're huge Fitz fans, but Chloe Bennett in this episode, oh my God, that was fucking acting, dude. Like, you don't get to see that too often on TV. That was in my mind, like a big time movie type performance from Chloe Bennett in this episode. All right, on to best scene. There's three here that were like for me dead even with each other because they were all so awesome. You probably have the same three, but you got to pick one for the sake of this category and our fans. What was it?
I actually have four because I'm a disgusting person.
You need help.
I do need help. So as I'm going through the show, I'm like, this is the best scene. And then another scene comes up, like, well, shit, that could be the best scene. And then another one comes up, and I'm like, that was incredible as well. And then I'm just a sucker for weddings, so I just really liked that scene.
Yeah.
Any show that has a wedding scene in it, I love. But I honestly think my best scene, and I've gone back and forth, it's the scene in the basement when Mike Peterson and Phil Coulson are talking, and Coulson is quote unquote facing his fear. And Mike is basically telling him, no, you're already dead. You've been dead since the Avengers, and you're just hooked up to electrodes. And that was such a powerful scene, and the way that it was shot, kind of having quick little flashbacks and little tips back at Fitz and Simmons and Chloe Bennett and the whole crew. I thought it was done absolutely fantastic. And there was a minute there where I believed, like,
I know.
is this a lost situation where, like, it's all just a dream?
That was my biggest fear coming true, was that they'd just been fucking with us for 100 episodes. Did not turn out to be the case, though. For me, my best scene was, I mean, that one ties into Deathlock coming down and killing all, like, Hive and everyone else, which was really awesome. So I'm going to go with the scene where Simmons reveals to everyone that Coulson is not doing so well, and his run-in with Ghost Rider has basically neutralized all the Kree blood that he got previously after the Avengers, and so he now is a ticking time bomb about to die. I thought every actor in that scene, you could really buy what they were doing, and we've talked about this a lot, but as far as TV acting goes, I mean, everybody just brought the heat in that, man. There's sometimes where those scenes get overacted on television, and you're like, okay, let's relax. Did not feel like that at all. It was very earned because we know these characters so well. And for the first time, and we'll get into this again for theories, but I think that I can see, kind of pun intended, because of the way this episode ended, but the light at the end of the tunnel for these characters. All right, story and plot. I actually skipped two of these categories here, so we'll go back to that. We thought last week was the 100th episode, and as a result, we were very disappointed in the story. A lot happened in this one, though. So now that it's the actual 100th episode and we know that we can't count, what'd you think of the story?
I'm just going to put a little asterisk next to last week's show and say, yeah, I didn't think it was that good, but now that I know it was only the 99th, last week's show was decent.
Totally changes it.
This week's show was absolutely fantastic. This is why I watched this show. This whole episode just kind of encompassed it all. This is the gathering place of what the show has been building up to. Essentially, is Coulson's death, because he was dead to start the show, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes,
we can argue that because
you're not wrong.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
So I absolutely loved it. I thought it made up for the first half of this season being underwhelming, in my opinion. And go ahead. Do you have something?
I was going to say, for a 100th episode, I think it delivered in terms of spectacle and, follow through on, hey, we're going to do some big shit, which is what I appreciated.
Yeah, I appreciate it 100%. And the whole Deke being Fitz and Simmons' grandson, dude, I like it. Say what you will, I like it.
So that's what I wanted to kind of ask, and I guess I'll get into that with theories. But the story did what I think all good shows have to do in order to both keep fans happy, but also keep tantalizing us. And it gave us a little olive branch of something to come in terms of the whole Deke dynamic. But also, there is resolution. Even if it didn't happen in this episode, it's on the horizon, revealing Coulson's illness. And you can sort of see these through lines starting to be tied up. And to me, that I think is the most gratifying part as someone who's watched the show from the beginning to now is I know we reference Lost a lot on this show just because I think it kind of it became a victim of its own success and sort of teasing things that it never got to answer. This show sort of told us now that, hey, if we tease something, we promise we're going to end up tying it up for you as fans that want to be loyal and with us from the beginning. All right, our last category, theories going forward. Obviously, there's the big reveal at the end with Deke, a character who I've been on record a lot as hating, and now that he's related to Gemma and Fitz, who I absolutely love, am I legally obligated to like him as a character? That's my question for you.
I think, well, the character or the actor? Because I think
the character.
Okay.
But they're related. I don't like the character because of the actor.
Yeah, I think that you can not like the actor but still appreciate what they're trying to do with the character.
Well, I don't.
Okay, well then, I guess you're going to be going to jail.
Guess we're out of options.
Yeah, we're out of options here.
All right.
I think that this is the beginning of the end. I don't know if we're going to get a sixth season. I don't think anybody does at this point. Either way, though, even if we get a sixth season or we don't, this is the end. This is going to be one of those situations where if they do a sixth season, nobody wants it, we don't need it, and it's going to be bad, and everybody's going to look to this fifth season as being the end. I also want to talk a little bit about how Clark Gregg and his portrayal of a quote-unquote comic book character, because it wasn't a comic book character until the movies, then they put him in the comic, and it's a very, very throwaway character from the movies that he just did such a good job portraying that we got this show out of, and now we have great writing, even in the movies, for a throwaway character to continue into this show to get a extremely emotion-filled family. I mean, because they're a family, not like a family show, but family-filled, emotional-filled show that is superheroes and about a superhero world. And I think that's really important to remember, and that's going to be a lasting impact if you go back and watch this show 10 years from now. You're going to, wow, this is how it started.
Kudos to Clark Gregg. As you said, when he first appeared in 2008's Iron Man, I don't think anyone could have imagined that he would both have the emotional impact and importance in the MCU that he had in the Avengers, and now what he's been able to mean to fans in this show. So that's like a guy who's a 5th or 6th round draft pick and ends up just becoming a Hall of Famer because he has completely exceeded expectations, probably even for himself within the role. And the only theory I have, because I think the Deke fit stuff is relatively self-explanatory, I think the characters will figure it out at some point, obviously, and that'll have some repercussion on the team and the show. But if there is a sixth season, and I think I'm becoming more and more confident in saying that I don't want there to be one, not in a malicious way, but I think we can tie things up nicely here. I feel like Clark Gregg and Phil Coulson will not be a part of the show at that point, based on what they're setting up. So while that's not at all a crazy theory or something that is going out on a limb, I feel confident saying season 5 is the end of the Phil Coulson character in finality and Clark Gregg's portrayal of him, and I am excited for that. So.
I'm very excited for that because, like you said, starting in Iron Man and all the way through the Avengers and into this show, he has stayed true to who Phil Coulson is from the very beginning, with the kind of quick-witted jokes and the always has a cool head, but yet is always trying to do the right thing. And I think that that's something that his character, who his character is, has not changed at all.
Yeah, he's just a fan favorite, man. So big tip of the cap to Clark Gregg. And for the second time in 2 episodes of the Broforce Squad podcast, congratulations to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for your 100th episode. We lost like $50 on that fucking cake we bought them last week because we have to buy them another one. We can't look like cheap assholes.
We were just practicing last week. And I mean, Geiger ate all the cake because he's so fat.
I know, he's disgusting. All right, guys, for Brian Banner, the mad scientist, I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. Thanks for checking us out. Make us your home for all Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reviews, as we still have, I believe, 8 episodes or so left in this season, and we want to be there with you guys to check them out. Follow us on Twitter at Broforce Squad. Click subscribe on iTunes and YouTube, Broforce Squad, 3 words. And check out everything that we're doing on our website at broforcesquad.com. Thanks, and we'll catch you next week. I'm out of gravity bombs, though, man. Where can you get those lows?